Welcome everyone to episode 1 of FIFA 17 Tots vs Sweat. Now this is a series that I bring around this time of year, every year, and you guys have already been tweeting me as soon as Tots dropped, "Lastly, when's Tots vs Sweat coming back?" And I can say today is that day. So if you do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to share your appreciation by smashing a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to be starting out today with the English version of Tots vs Sweat. So any of you that don't know how it works, we build half the team Tots and half the team as sweaty players from that particular nation or league, and I go into some games, I play with the players, see how I think they perform, and then I sort of judge it towards the end of what I think is better for you to go out and buy. Is it Tots or is it Sweat? So the goalkeeper doesn't matter, and we've got Butland today, who is a pretty sweaty goalkeeper, I guess. But our first battle is Battle of the English Centre-Backs. Chris Smalling as my sweaty player versus 89 rated Team of the Season Michael Keane. Now, Smalling is a relatively high rated player, so you might not necessarily call him sweaty, but if you think about those sweaty Prem teams that you're always playing, Smalling is always there. Another person that's always there, Luke Shaw at left back. I think he is a very, very good player on this game. Up against Team of the Season Kyle Walker, who looks to be an absolutely phenomenal player on FIFA 17. Blue Walker, yeah, he's a 300k player, so he's probably going to be quite good. Now in my CDM roles today, we have got Tots, Jonjo, Shelvey versus Jordan Henderson. It's pretty difficult to find a sweaty CDM, and like Jordan Henderson, it was him or like regular Dele Alli, and Dele Alli's like a cam, whereas this 82 Henderson actually does come out of packs as a CDM, so I thought I'd go with him today. And then in the cam spot, once again, England don't have the greatest options of people that are default central attacking mids that have got a lot of pace. Again, Dele Alli would have been the only one, but I thought, why not just add a load of pace here and put in Jamie Vardy versus Team of the Season Adam Lallana. 90 rated, 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. He looks a bit of a beast. And then we have a sweaty striker in Marcus Rashford versus Team of the Season Dwight Gale. Now, I purposely tried to not put just Premier League Englishmen into the Tots side of this because, of course, it would then literally just be Tots versus Sweat Premier League. We've got a couple from the Championship, and it means I can do a Premier League version of this series down the road. So, that is our starting 11. It's very Tots and very blue on one side. It's very sweaty and just gold, overpowered players that you see time and time and time again on this game when people are just, you know, putting their dirty squads together that don't cost very many coins. So when I went into some games, randomly my penalty taker was Kyle Walker, and when I actually looked, he had some decent stats, so I was like, you know what, I'm probably just going to keep him on him, and he actually got a couple of penalties in the four or five games that we played, and he netted both of them, and I randomly had the arrow in that particular one. I thought they literally removed it from game, but not only can he score penalties, he can net free kicks as well. Take a look at that for a power free kick strike. Team of the Season Kyle Walker is amazing. He feels super, super quick. Luke Shaw hasn't really got much of a chance against Team of the Season Kyle Walker. The stat differences are major, but Luke Shaw does a fantastic job at left back, as you guys know, for a very cheap player. Jamie Vardy whips it into Jonjo Shelvey, who gets his head on that one, and I wasn't expecting him to come up with a goal for the team, especially as he was playing CDM for us. And I don't think I actually scored with Jordan Henderson, so does that mean that Tots is going to win in that category? We'll see later on in the video. But now we get to the goals with Lallana. I have to admit, Jamie Vardy didn't score at all. I'm pretty sure he got a couple of assists, and it might be a little bit unfair because Lallana is like a default centre mid, central attacking midfield, that kind of player, and Vardy's normally a striker, right? So he's a little bit out of his league in this department, but he was getting assists and he was very quick, and of course that always puts your opponent's defenders into trouble. But Lallana just sort of ran away with every opportunity that he got. He just stuck it in the back of the net. I've been super, super impressed with him. He's actually in my main Premier League super team now, which is basically all special items on the game. Lots of Tots players, lots of purple players in there in the Premier League side. And yeah, Lallana literally fits in my cam spot. And I've been super, super impressed. Now we move on to the two strikers. I got a couple of goals with Rashford, and you can see the ones that we're sticking away. This is the only other goal that he scored for me. On that weak foot, solid power against the goalkeeper there. Just too much power for the goalie to even save it. Goes into the back of the net, and I have to admit, that's a nice goal. He did a few nice things. He does make good runs on this game. And I know, especially earlier on in the game, I struggled with Rashford back in the day. Like, before you get these decent centre-backs that we have now, it was always a bit of a struggle to defend against him because he is super quick and he's decent on the ball, you know. So he's definitely formidable on this game. He's not going to cost you many coins. However, Dwight Gale is going to cost you coins. So this whole series is a little bit about... Not only am I just going to say, oh yeah, the Tots is better in every single scenario, because it might not be the case. And even if a Tots is better, if they're only marginally better but they cost a whole lot more, then really the sweaty player almost comes out on top, because value for money is a thing as well, of course. But we did score a whole bunch of goals with Dwight Gale, and I try and be as... like, unbiased as I possibly can when I'm playing the games with this team. I don't necessarily just want Rashford to play the pass through to Gale so that I can get all the goals with the Tots player. I'll literally try and play so however I go up the pitch and start my movement and stuff, I'll literally score it with whoever is in the best position at that given point in time. And it just so happens that Dwight Gale did come away with the majority of the goals. However, a few one-on-one opportunities he did seem to miss, which is actually quite similar to when I reviewed Tots Dwight Gale on the FUTWIZ channel. I'll leave a link to that in the top right corner. I'm pretty sure I said that I found it difficult to score one-on-ones with him. His composure was quite low in front of goal. So yeah, it sort of ties up, and actually it does make sense. He isn't the greatest of strikers, and I think he's quite expensive for what he is. But in this particular run of games, he did score like way more than a goal a game. So overall, gotta say that he's been quite an impressive player. We're coming up to like the final couple of goals now, and then I'll go back to the team and I'll sort of give a rating for each particular Tots versus Sweat mini battle that we're going on to see who comes out on top. But as you can see, once I do find my feet with Dwight Gale, he really can rifle it into the back of the net. So he was a pretty impressive player. But do you know what? Rashford is also up there and decent. The only real crazy player in this team seems to be Tots Lallana, who, I mean, plays with that sort of rating as well. So yeah, you could kind of expect him to be way, way up there in terms of quality. So in the first battle between Chris Smalling and Michael Keane, I have to admit they both feel really good in game. I always rely on Chris Smalling in my team normally, so I love him on this game, and you can't really beat him. But Keane is actually really good. He's insanely good. He's got 80 dribbling, and he kind of feels like Smalling in game. But for a Tots to feel like Smalling in game, I feel like Smalling kind of wins. And he's just as solid for a lot less of a price. So it goes 1-0 to Sweat in this situation. Now, the second battle is between Luke Shaw and Kyle Walker. I've said it before, like, Walker's just unreal. He just easily beats Shaw, in my opinion. He actually got goals for me as well, which is actually really impressive. And you do have a free kick taker in the ranks there with your right back, which is always a decent option to have. So 1-1 between Tots and Sweat right now. We then have the battle between Shelvey and Jordan Henderson. Now, Henderson didn't score for me, but he did pick up 2 assists. And Shelvey, did he get any assists? No, but he got 1 goal. I actually find assists more important. He created 2 goals rather than just the one that Shelvey did. So I think Jordan Henderson takes this one here. So actually, it goes 2-1 to Sweat right now. Just for value of money, value for money sort of thing, really. I didn't necessarily rate Jonjo Shelvey. He actually felt a bit slow. So definitely recommend someone like Henderson who does a good job on the game. Now we are going to instantly even it up to 2-2 between Tots versus Sweat. Because like I said, Lallana is a next level beast. 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. He's got 7 goals and 5 assists in 9 games for me. So that's impressive. And some of those games were actually the daily knockout tournament where I was trying to win Sigurdsson. Didn't concede a goal and I just won him straight away. Which is, yeah, again, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Looking forward to next week's tournament now. A bit more confident this year. And then Rashford versus Gale. The decider, well, 2 goals, 4 assists for Rashford means that he's got 6 contributions. And I'm pretty happy with that, especially for the coinage that you're going to pay for this guy. But then Dwight Gale gets 8 goals and 1 assist, so 9 contributions in the 5 games. And I'm seriously impressed with just how he did that, because I was just scoring the opportunities that I got. So he was obviously earning himself opportunities. So I think Tots is going to take this one and wins our first episode of Tots versus Sweat. The Tots players in this situation overall were better. Obviously, they're going to cost you a lot of coins, but if you can make a bit of a mixed team like this one and make sure you use the likes of Smalling and maybe Henderson and stuff like that, you're going to build a really nice team, and it's all about having that balance. You don't necessarily want a full special team, because sometimes I find that people actually try a lot harder against that. You know, they've got to beat this dude with the crazy team. However, if you can just sprinkle in the odd special item along the way, and also have some of those really good, great value for money players, then you're onto a winner here. So that is the first episode of Tots vs Sweat on FIFA 17 Ultimate Team. England was the nation that we've done. Let me know if you'd like me to do a nation or a league in the next episode, and what you would like to see. Of course, don't forget that we haven't had that many Tots yet, so we might be a little bit limited for a couple of weeks. Smash a thumbs up on the video if you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Sub if you're new, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.